Okay, so welcome. Nice to see y'all here. I know that tomorrow we've got a big day. So our goal with this evening is just to bring a little bit of peace and calm and knowledge around the importance of kindness and giving before tomorrow happens. This is our agenda for today is to give just a little Kikori overview. And then we'll be playing some of our November SEL calendar activities. In our reflect, some of the things we'll be learning about today are about giving, specifically around the chemicals in the brain that help support us giving and how that positive relationship happens when we give to help us give more. Around gratitude with the neuroplasticity, empathy versus empathy, and then the neuroscience around gratitude. Um, let's see. This last one is the kindness. Our big question as we go through this is thinking how these activities could fit into your classroom or your work with educators if you are a leader of staff and grow. So one activity that you would like to take away from this, and of course you've got the whole calendar of activities that you can play, but thinking as we go through what is one takeaway? What is one thing that you really want to take from this and hold on to it for the rest of the month? So, what is Kikori? I think everyone here has a pretty good idea, right, of Kikori. We've all used the SEL calendar. Yes, wonderful. Okay. And yeah, just a reminder about where we come from, background as school social work. My teammate, my co-founder did this work in the field on challenge courses. So Kikori is really invested in helping students play, bringing that play and team building into the classroom so we can all experience it. Our big focus with the calendar and the activities is really shifting from reacting to those tier two, tier three needs and putting the preventions in place. So, how can we be proactive and really bring in the activities, bring in the supports and the practices rather than that reactive piece? The way that we do that is through our Kikori SEL calendar. So every month we curate different activities. And throughout the year, there's also a different theme. So the other way that we want to think about these themes is also with the eye of group development. So in August and September, we're really building bonds, and we're looking at beginning to. So if we look at group development, beginning to form those relationships. So students are coming in, they might be on their best behavior. When we get to October, it's like, all right, we got to get down to work. So true colors start coming out. Students are starting to experience some challenges with learning, with social relationships. So that's where students, Lisa's nodding her head. That's where that storming really happens. So storming is when students begin to, say how they feel. And storming is a natural part of any group development. So we see it on our own teams where at first it's all very positive and formal and wonderful. And then it's like, actually, I care about this. You care about this. So it's a normal part of group development. It's an important part. And our goal with November and December is to move through it and to start looking at norming. So I know who you are, I know who I am. What are the norms that we all agree on around kindness, around giving, around caring about each other that we want to put into place for the rest of the year so we can begin performing? And just a little reminder, have you all seen these group development stages? Have you learned about this before? Some yes, some no. Um, this is a really important part of like team building. Bruce is the person who developed these stages, but it's really helpful in looking at your students and trying to think like where they are. The other thing, so this is that beginning of the year forming, storming, norming, and then once the norms are in place, that's when students are really able to perform. Um, it's helpful to So look at this, and just when you're looking at your students, they act differently based on what different group development stage they're in. And so if there's a new student that comes in, they can move right back to forming or storming. So that's the other thing is the goal is that a group moves, linear in a linear way through these stages. But they could really happen based on different things that are happening around us or changes in the group as well. So right now our goal is norming. This month is the National Heritage Month is Native American, American Indian, and Alaska Native Heritage Month. So with the calendar, we really like to think about school-wide activities first, sort of that macro, and then move into what's happening in the classroom. So a wonderful activity for this month is the kindness tree activity. And so I'm just gonna show that as we are, let's see, we're jumping in. Has anyone ever created a kindness tree in your classroom or in your school? I see Judy nodding. One other thing I wanted to say just at the beginning as we're jumping in is if you have stories to share, if you have experiences of any of the different things that we're talking about, I really welcome you to share those. I'm here to give an overview, but like your stories, your experiences are really helpful for each other just to get new ideas. Um, this kindness tree, this was an activity that I did use with the students that I worked with. It is a really wonderful classroom and school-wide activity, and it's really great because it's a cooperative activity. So one of the ways that I used it was every classroom would have a certain number of leaves. And students, when they saw kindness happening, they were invited to write down that kindness and put it in a basket or put it right on the tree. Once the entire class filled the tree, then they were able to receive their celebration. Once the whole school's like trees were filled, then there could be a school-wide celebration. So again, it's how can we all like really look for that kindness, see that kindness, share about it. And there are a couple of different ways you can do it. So in the fall, it's really nice in November. In spring and February, there's also a lot of kindness activities. So it's wonderful there. This was before the days of ChatGPT. So these were actually some of my own ideas. There are, and hi, buddy. There are some prompts to help students talk about kindness as they're starting off, and some questions afterwards as students are starting to create the kindness tree to help them really reflect on that idea of kindness. And there is an awesome website as well that's got tons of ideas of how to do it and different variations. So it's a fun activity. I can see Pilot Station doing really well with this and getting really
Right.
creative. So
I,
school-wide, we also always celebrate the appreciation days. So this month you've got School Psychology Week is the 11th to the 15th. National STEAM or STEM Day is this Friday. Education Support Specialist Day is November 20th, and Substitute Educators Appreciation Day is the 22nd. So again, each of these has their own appreciation activity. The appreciation calendar is something that um, really takes this idea of empathy and kindness and talking about it and learning about the community that we live in and makes it real by having students really be able to celebrate every single educator in the building throughout the year. So surprise cheer is students creating their own like cheer for that educator. And when they walk in, they do it. A kindness card is a great activity where students can practice writing something special about the substitute that they can take with them. So anyone, any experience with any of these like appreciation days or yeah, the National Heritage Days that you've had within your schools that you've worked in? Has anyone had any experiences of like celebrating people, staff in the school that's been really memorable?
In the past, I've had, I don't know if my mic is working. In the past, I've had kids sing songs, like change the lyrics to a song to celebrate somebody. One I remember is Nurse's Day. I don't know. I forget which song it was. It was years and years ago, but the kids would just go pop into the nurse's office and sing the song to her.
Aw. That's awesome. I love that.
I think we did an activity. It was not like it was an appreciation day or well, maybe it was respect day, and it was at Pilot Station. And we had a couple classes who they went around the school and they went and met with the custodians, and then they thanked the custodians and they sang a little song, and then they went to the secretaries and then they did something with the secretaries, and then went to the lunch staff. And so they just went around the building and they got pictures with each group and made a big deal how they were showing respect. So it's not the kindness one, but I mean, it's kindness. Yeah.
I loved that one. That was awesome getting to see them like really inviting, yeah, showing everyone what respect means to you, what respect means to you, what respect means.
And if we're talking about kindness, I don't know if you guys have seen the kind bulletin board where you make the big letters on a huge wall and then you make yourself the eye. We did a big photo drop like that. That was at my previous school, but you spell K and then you leave a blank for the I and then you do the N and the D and then you stand in front of the I and then you take a photo and do that. So I've got a photo for you, Kendra, if you would like to ever see that. But yeah, it was a great idea. The kids loved it.
Awesome. I love that. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's a little bit of science, the science behind this giving, and I need to make sure that my volume is on, which I can do. So, what is the book that I'm reading right now? Culturally responsive, um, culturally responsive learning. Has anybody read that book? I see heads nodding. She gives an amazing explanation of what happens in the brain, of all of the different parts of the brain. So the sympathetics, yeah, like what happens in the dendrites and the oxytocin and the dopamine. It's really amazing to get to see like how all of the different systems work together. And so I feel like for those of us who this is really important, we believe in this work, it's really helpful having these details about what's happening and how it's happening to help explain. This is why spending time on this is so important. So here's a little 1 minute. And everyone can hear it, correct?
I don't hear it. I don't know if it's just me.
You can't hear it? I don't hear it, no. Okay, I am sorry. Share sound. Okay, that is it. Almost, so close. Oops. Sorry about that. Just need to.
The science of giving. For many of us, the holidays are a time of compassion and giving. To family, to friends, even to people we don't know and may never meet. Why do we do this? To understand the science behind this generosity, we must begin to unravel the complex neural pathways that drive human social behaviors. Much of what we now understand seems to converge on two signaling molecules produced deep in the brain. Specific cells in the hypothalamus release oxytocin, a signaling molecule involved in promoting social behaviors such as bonding, trust, empathy, and generosity. Oxytocin is also known to activate reward pathways in the brain. which release a neurotransmitter known as dopamine. These pathways are associated with feelings of happiness and pleasure. The positive emotions we feel from dopamine release reinforce the generous behaviors promoted by oxytocin. This suggests giving to others makes it more likely that we'll give again. Generosity is wired into our biology. Such acts of kindness build strong social bonds between us. They build strong families and strong communities. So this holiday season, be generous, be kind, be compassionate. Let's take care of one another now and always. From all of us at In Vivo, we wish you a happy holiday.
Thank you, In Vivo. So in thinking about, these little actions, every time that students are giving and they're seeing someone's face light up, they're seeing the nurse or the custodian or, the education support specialist, substitute teachers, it's going to make them actually primed to want to do more and be more kind. So reminder, each week of the calendar has a different castle focus. And so for November, the focuses are, so starting off the month with self-confidence, building our own, sense of empathy towards ourselves, self-motivation, perspective taking, which is a key part of kindness and empathy, and then teamwork. These are the activities that are provided every day. So that's what we will go through in the next 40 minutes or so. As a reminder, all of the activities that we play today are challenge by choice. So feel free to play as much or as little as it works for you this evening. And we're just going to start with a little welcome message. So welcome to our Playshop. With Election Day tomorrow, we know that the energy is buzzing. So today, during this time, let's hit pause, gift ourselves the power of presence. Think of this as a civic kindness break, where we can give ourselves the empathy and compassion we pour into our classrooms and into our teachers. Just as elections are about collective choices, this Playshop is about choosing to nurture ourselves, which is the ultimate vote of kindness. We're here to plant seeds of gratitude, harvest kindness, grow a giving spirit, starting with us. So let's dive in, explore, remember when we fill our own cups, which are, in the words of Judy, so often, we have so much to share with others. Thank you for being here. All right, so sharing, we've got our check-in of the evening, check-in of the month. Is what is your flavor today? So this is the activity on Tuesday, November 25th for International Cake Day. And I'd love, to give us a moment to think about what flavor you are. And if you wouldn't mind just unmuting when you're ready and sharing who you are, where you are, who you work with, and what flavor you're coming in to this evening today as. Go for it, Lisa.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Lisa. I'm with the Lower Yukon School District, a very remote village school district in Alaska. This is our first year working with Kokori, and it's been great. Our teachers have embraced it, and we're feeling good about that. I would say things are a little bit sweet and spicy right now. Sweet because we have really just been jumping in, and I feel like we're making a lot of progress with our SEL, but spicy right now too, because we have a lot on our plate. We've got a big, huge board meeting this week, and we've just got a lot of presentations. I'm presenting Kokori to our board this week, actually. So just some exciting stuff that's taking place. And so I've got a little bit sweet and spicy going on.
And if anyone connects with anything that Lisa said, and I welcome you to go next.
I'm Tanya. I'm in Vermont. I teach third grade at a rural public school. I would say comforting is my flavor, just because I've already been able to change into my comfy clothes tonight. And one half of the children are in bed, the other one's on his way soon. So we're getting there, and it is very dark. So it's like feeling like bedtime right now.
Awesome. Um, I've also got a little one. So I'll jump in. My name is Kendra Bostic. I am currently in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm not too far away from you, Tanya, in the whole scheme of things. Um, and I would say that I am, I, gosh, it's like I want to be sweet. Man, but I think I'm feeling a little salty with this Eventbrite. This is like month 3 and I just keep trying and I don't, yeah, it's man, it's like you we put in a lot of effort and so I'm feeling sad that there are a lot of people who signed up that weren't able to make it. So that is being real. A lot of times I'm like, I should always say sweet because I want people to feel confident in their leader, but I always choose honesty.
Thank you.
See, Michelle.
Hi. Um, I'm from Jackson County Central, Jackson, Minnesota. I think this is our first year doing this.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm a para. I work with 3-year-olds. Um,
Aw.
yeah, it's fun. Um, I I want to be sweet, but actually I'm probably sour. That's just me preparing for the snow, so I don't want to.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. And Lisa is shaking her head after shoveling shoveling out her
I
driveway.
Yeah,
shoveled snow for an hour before this, Michelle. It's
yeah,
here.
it's coming real soon here. We've had a dusting, so
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you. That makes me feel better because, yeah, yeah, I get a little bit of that right now too. And Miss Judy, what's your flavor today?
Well, it's hard to select just a few. So as you're looking at all the feelings that you feel throughout the day, just my personality is just kind of a little bit spicy, but my goal is just allowing that comfort for those teachers to lean in and listen in and provide all we can with Kokori. So I'm in rural Nebraska. I've left education. Before leaving education in a public school, I did work with Kokori, and now I'm working diligently with Kendra to bring Kokori to schools in Nebraska. So that's a sour taste, I think, between us as far as we know what we know and how great this could be if given the opportunity to tip their toes into it and just jump in and do it. So yeah, you have a combination of, I can relate to all of you on today of experiencing all those different flavors throughout the day. So thank you for being here, everyone.
Thank you all for sharing. So it kind of goes without saying as we are, looking at the month and talking about being caring and empathy, the importance of check-ins and, what I just felt as being able to share and being honest, having a little like, you go girl from Lisa. Um, and so, yeah, so that is, so I was going to ask about stories, but we're going to skip. We've already shared a couple stories. I want to take this. So as we are, we've all got like, we all want to be sweet, but we're all like in a place where, well, we're all in the place that we're at. And there is always an opportunity to also shift based on the things that we think about and the memories that we look into. And so I guess I just was like assuming that we were all going to come in and be salty, spicy, and sour. And so this activity is just doing a little mind shift moment, a little mind shift switch, thinking about one thing in the past, one thing or person in the past week that was sweet. And level 2, what is one thing or person in the past week that was comforting? So we're just going to take a moment and redirect our energy to that feeling of sweet and that feeling of comforting. And I welcome you to take a moment and write it in the chat once you got it. All right, how y'all doing? A friend that I haven't talked to in months reached out. Aww. Very nice. Avoiding that outside, that weather. Awesome. Okay, and here's our with that redirecting, with that focusing, on the positive, on the sweet, on the comforting. This is just a little video about how that's happening in kitties. Perfect. When we do that, it's a little video around what's actually happening in our brains every single time that we do that.
This is your brain, the control center of your senses, your feelings, and your thoughts. Your thoughts have so much power over your brain. Over time, frequent thoughts create pathways that become well-worn, like a road you drive down often. These pathways become habitual ways of thinking. Each time you think a thought, it strengthens that same pathway, making it easier to think that same thought again and again. That well-worn pathway becomes a habit of the brain. Sometimes this can be pretty hurtful. But the good news is your brain is plastic, and with repeated intention, you can change these pathways. That's called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the process of creating change in your brain to think the way you want to. You will learn how to focus on a different, more helpful thought and start building a new pathway. At first, it will take practice and intention. You will need to reroute your thoughts. Those old hurtful pathways will wither away as your new thought pathway becomes the well-worn road to a better you.
again, just a little dose of that, those melanin sheaths created every single time that we help our students refocus on the positive. It's physically changing their brains, which is helping them be more engaged and be ready for school. So next is our greeting activity. So we're going to do a get to know you greeting. This is in the calendar on Monday, November 18th. And for pre-KK, we're doing the same greetings every day. So Michelle, you might see that if you're following the pre-KK calendar. So for this greeting, so this is the way that it's presented for students. They are to write down one question they have for their classmates on a piece of paper and put them in a circle in the middle. Circle up on the floor, and then you invite one student at a time to come and choose a question, and they read it for the rest of the group. If a student shares their answer and another student agrees with their answer, likes their answer, they do a Me Too signal. So for November and kindness, our Me Too signal is going to be the heart hands, which is one of my personal favorites. And yeah, we'll do as many questions as we can answer in 3 minutes. So it's a way to set it up and give it a time frame. So for this activity for us today, I'm actually going to have you write me a question. So something that you want to know from the other people here. It could be something about, what is your goal for November? I mean, I'm just giving you ideas, but something about school, something about how they're using these activities. It could be something completely random, like what do you like to do for fun? It could be any question, something that you would like to know about the other people here, and send it to me directly, and then I will post them all. So that way we're still able to have that anonymous effect, which is the same as in the game, in the activity. Okay. So I've got one question. So we've got a couple questions. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, so we've got 3 questions available. And okay, so we can see the 3 questions there. If you have another question, just send it to me. Oh, perfect. Okay, we got another good one. Yay. And the way we're going to play is I'm going to go in alphabetical order, but reverse alphabetical order because we never start at the end. And you can pick one of the questions to ask the group. And then whoever's got an answer, maybe, I don't know, yeah, just take ourselves on mute. We can play. If you agree with the person's answer, remember to throw them some heart hands. And let's see, Tanya, I know you're leaving. But you are up first based on the backwards alphabetic order. If you want to pick one of the questions.
Snowshoeing is my favorite winter activity.
What? Oh, I snowshoed with my mom and we followed the path of the deer where I grew up, and it was so magical.
I'm hoping to get the 3.5-year-old out this winter.
Okay, so the question is, what is your favorite winter activity? Anyone else?
Well, I was going to be along those same lines, so kind of a heart of snowshoeing, but cross-country skiing or downhill skiing, both. I like skiing. So, outside. Shoveling is not my favorite, but I did burn a lot of calories today.
where we grew up in Northern Michigan. Yeah, that was the life. Michelle, did you have a
Hibernating.
also, yes, just being able to stay inside without any. Perfect. Let's see. And Michelle, you get to pick the next question. So you've got a couple questions in the chat you can choose from, or and you're on mute.
Okay. My favorite self-care practice is I have a gratitude journal that I write in every day. For a while.
I love that. Has it changed your life?
It's really, I mean, I've been doing it for about a year now, and it's really improved everything.
I think I found my
Makes me a
takeaway. I think
happier
about it all the
person.
time. Okay. So I love that. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else? Self-care? Favorite self-care activity?
My favorite is when I get the opportunity to do yoga. I like to do that. I just don't get to do it every day, or I don't do it every day. Oh, Wanda's joining us. Yay.
Judy is a yogi.
All right, Judy.
That was a huge part of my before children past life.
We'll come
It's
back to that
it,
someday.
it's there. It's there on the list. It's
Yep.
um and hi Wanda, welcome, welcome. I am I next? Can I be next? HIJKL. Lisa, you're next. Question.
Well, I did put in there. What have you experienced as the biggest benefit to using Kakori? Um, and so my answer, I guess, would be I feel like the teachers that are embracing Kakori and using it are using it not only during like the social emotional learning time that we've kind of got set aside, but they're also using some of the practices in other classroom settings. So in math and in language and science. And so they're using some of those things in those like group building activities. And just, I just feel like it's engaging. And I think playing the games and reflecting and, that whole process of connection and how you grow. Has been powerful for some of our teachers who are seeing that as a way that could go throughout their day, not just during like a SEL kind of focus time.
Thank you for sharing. And that's really inspired us as well to start on all of the experiential activities this month. You'll see when it can be played during different subject areas to help people begin to weave them through the school day. And hi, Wanda. um, any other answers for that one? Has anyone else seen the benefit of the activities in your classroom?
I'll go. In addition to just the joy that you finally see children interacting and enjoying the learning, just the low burden, high impact of those components that many teachers don't have the resources and the support to do. And now they finally have the research behind it that this is a true fit for meeting the needs to then allow students to be ready to learn.
Okay, so it is my turn, and I have to ask, who is a cat lover? So I see Tanya, Michelle. All right. Sending some love your way. And do we have some dog lovers here as well?
I'm allergic to everything. So no,
That doesn't make them
I
as
would if I
enjoyable.
could.
My little one is in love with dogs, so that's been kind of fun because I've never been. I'm like, but like seeing her play with them, I'm like, oh yeah, they're cute. Okay, so yeah, so this is a fun activity as a greeting activity. Um, and I just want to say a little bit about the power of the Me Too. So this Me Too, there are all different ways that schools do it. I don't know how if anyone here does it in any special way. One of the ways I learned is like from my head to your head. Has anyone ever used this one? No, this was in one of the the International Baccalaureate schools. And then kind of fun fact is I actually taught English in Chile. And so I taught all the kids this Me Too signal, and this means drinking alcohol. And so there was an entire school of children the day that I met them. So I've learned, yeah, different symbols. But I love doing so, like whatever the activity is, if it's like a weather activity, having students like create sunshine, or rainbows, or if it's a musical instrument activity, have them do a musical instrument, but anything that shows them that, hey, like I hear you, I see you, I agree with you is really powerful for those students who don't get that throughout the rest of the day. And so these are just some of the other things that happen when we have students really supporting each other. Um, let's see, we're helping them build their pro-social skills. Um, let's see. So kindness fosters essential social skills such as cooperation, sharing, conflict resolution. And there's some research that shows children who practice kindness develop better social relationships, have more positive peer interactions, which reduces bullying, and helps them be more engaged in school. Encouraging consistent and intentional actions. So by building this in, having this be a part, this starts to become a part of, like, as you were mentioning, Lisa. So if they're doing this in morning meeting and they're saying, hey, I got you, it's also going to happen in math class. Hey, I agree with you. Yeah, I got the same answer. And we're really starting to make those interactions be more consistent and intentional throughout the day. And lastly, understanding and practicing empathy. Teaching children to consider others' feelings is empathy, which is a core component of kindness. And again, that neuroscientific studies indicate the acts of kindness stimulate the reward center, lead to feelings of happiness and fulfillment. And so, yeah, we've got one more. There's one more little video around what is empathy. Have any of you seen this one by Brené Brown? I see Judy nodding. I see Lisa nodding. Michelle says no. Okay. All right. Well, it's a good one. This is a kid-friendly version. So there is a version that it may not be appropriate for like teens. However, this one is.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you can climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
I'm on mute. It's a good one. She's so wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna play our last game, our last chance to connect. And so with this activity, we're following the experiential learning cycle. So we're gonna start with play. So this is Emotions Pictionary. So this activity is scheduled for Tuesday, November 19th. It's for Have a Bad Day Day. And this is a little different way to play it. But the words that I have chosen are actually all positive words. So you could play this, like typically you play it with all different emotions. Today we're really going to focus on these words. So compassion, empathy, generosity, appreciation, selflessness, mindfulness, forgiveness, connection, respect, and joy. And this is also inspired a bit by my mentor, who did a lot of work in the importance around noticing these positive things happening around you. And the more that we put our attention on them, the more that they appear. So the way that we are going to play is you will get to pick one of these words, and we're going to put up a whiteboard and you're going to draw the word. Our goal is in like 4 minutes, we're going to see how many words we can get right as a team. So again, I'm going to put the words in the chat right now. And our goal, when I put up the whiteboard, let's see. Here are our words in the chat. And we're going to have to practice honesty as well. So you can't just say that somebody got it with any word. They have to actually get the word that you were intending to draw. And so let's see. I'm going to put up my whiteboard. Annotate. Let's see. So I'm going to turn on my annotate. And do you guys know how to turn your annotate on? No. I had the whiteboard up. Let's see. Okay, so your annotate is down at the bottom. Can you give me a thumbs up if you have your annotate on? Lisa,
I don't see it.
you
I don't
don't
know.
see it. You don't see the annotate. I'm able to get mine. I'm able to get my draw.
Where'd you go to get that?
It's just on the bar at the bottom.
Hmm.
You guys don't see an annotate on your bar?
Mhm.
I wonder if it's around the permissions. Okay.
The
Is it under
annotate
whiteboards?
the annotate is right above the audio. It's a neon green pencil with a line.
Oh,
Yes.
found it. Thanks, Wanda.
Yay! Okay. So Lisa, you have your annotate. Wanda, you have your annotate. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So rock, paper, scissors, whoever has their annotate, we're gonna pick a person to play. I'm actually going to nominate Lisa. Lisa, are you open to drawing? So we're just going to use this. Yep, you got it. I'm going to clear this. Can I clear this?
So
Clear all
my
drawings.
to draw one of these words on the screen here.
That is correct. That is correct. Yep, and our goal is to guess it. And as soon as you finish, I'll tag in and I'll pick a word and our goal. So it's going to be you, me. Who else is open to playing? Wanda, Michelle. Perfect. Tanya. Okay, so in that order. So we're going to go Lisa, Kendra, Wanda, Michelle, Tanya. And we're going to try to get as many of these as we can in the time that we have left.
I don't have annotate though, so I can't draw.
I'm like, can I do this? Oh, how do I make it? Oh, I can make it a different color. Okay, there we
I
go.
don't know how to
Okay,
get you
I think I
annotate.
just did
I'm
it. There we
sorry.
go. I'm drawing.
Connection.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
amazing. Okay, all right. So it's my turn. Okay, so draw. Um, let's see. Um,
Mindfulness.
yes, Wanda. We're good.
Very good. Mm. Generosity you're giving away.
Yay! Okay, Michelle. Yay. Joy.
Joy.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So we got to play. Thanks y'all for playing with me. And yeah, so let's see. So with students, can see how this is a really cool way to also differentiate between the different, like really, oopsie. Oh no. Okay, there we go. That is just gonna be there. But differentiate between the different types of positive feelings. So really, like, what does appreciation look like? What is generosity? So it gives you an opportunity to talk about these things after they have played. Clear. Awesome. Um, and now, okay. And yeah. Um, with us, briefly, would you notice any noticings during this activity as we played together? No, it was just a short game.
I felt very relieved that someone knew that I was trying to draw a connection.
I felt drawn in. I felt part of the game, although we're all different places. I felt that I was involved, engaged.
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun. Like like that was, I don't know, like when we were right. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, we're so good at this. So.
Got it.
Well, I think it's taking the abstract and making it tangible, right? Like that's a concept. Like it's really hard to sort of grasp, and to be able to put that to a drawing is really huge.
Yay. with the connect is how does what happened in this activity connect with our lives? So, was there any emotion that you saw on the list that you had the biggest connection with? Any one of those words that you were really drawn to?
I was really drawn to the word connection, only because I always make connections with the things around me most all the time. And that was the first word. That's why when Lisa started drawing the chain, I was like, okay, that was what I was going to draw.
We're on the same wavelength, Wanda, because that's what I was thinking as well when she asked us what word do you most, I don't know, they're all great words, but I think I'm always trying to draw connections for people and others and trying to make things real for people or, like build on prior knowledge or connecting where you're going, paving that path to the future. There's a connection there. And then just the building relationships connection.
And Judy, did you have a word?
I resonate with just the joy and mindfulness.